Hi, I'm Kelsey from roughandtumblefarmhouse.com, and today we are going to make ghee. So ghee is a type of clarified butter that is used in all sorts of different cooking. It's awesome because it has a very high smoke point, so it works really well for frying. The process of making ghee separates out the milk fats, the sugars, and the protein, so it is a dairy product that even those with dairy sensitivities can use. Ghee is widely used in Indian cooking, and it's something that is talked a lot about in Ayurveda. Ayurveda is an ancient holistic medical practice in India dating all the way back to, I think, 3,000 years ago. And they use ghee because they believe it fights inflammation, it helps with digestion, and some of these things are true. They found now with modern medicine that ghee is also high in omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3 fatty acids, it's a type of fatty acid that our bodies can't make ourselves, so we have to just consume it. A lot of times you see like fish or eggs that are high in omega-3s, and so you can get that from ghee, which is awesome. So thankfully making ghee is pretty simple. If you don't want to make it yourself, you can also buy it. It's kind of mainstream now. You can find it at most health food stores, or even Walmart carries ghee now. If you're going to buy it from a store, you're going to spend anywhere between about $13 a pound up to $25 and more a pound for the really good organic grass-fed ghee. So to make your own ghee, there aren't a lot of things that you need. One of the first things you need, of course, is butter. You want unsalted butter. So I just have here, this is some butter that I froze last summer from our Jersey Juneberry. And so that's what I'll be using to make ghee. Just one stick is plenty. If you want to do two, that's fine. You are going to be evaporating out the water from it, so you are going to have a lot less than what you start with. So keep that in mind. You also then need, of course, a pot to make it in. So I just have a little stock pot here. You're also going to need a fine mesh strainer, or if you just have some cheesecloth, a couple layers will work fine. And then I just have a wood spoon here for stirring. So let's get started and make some ghee. The first thing I'm gonna do is just chop up my butter into smaller chunks so it's gonna melt faster. You don't have to do this, but I have a pretty big wad of butter here, and so it'll just make the process go a little bit faster. And after this, we are going to put it on the stove. We're gonna simmer it kind of on a medium low, I would say. And from there, we are going to see the milk fat start to separate out. It's pretty much the same process to begin with as making browned butter, if you've ever done that before, except for we're just gonna take it a couple of steps further. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna turn this on to about a medium low, and we're just gonna let this melt down. So from here, we will start to see the little milk fat starting to separate. They're gonna drop down to the bottom, and we'll see kind of a clear layer starting to establish. Now, it can take anywhere from about 20 minutes to up to 45 minutes for everything to separate out, and then also to wait for those little milk solids to kind of brown. So if you're just making a clarified butter, once everything separates out, you've got your clarified butter. But when you're making ghee, you really want it to be there for a longer time, kind of lightly simmering until those milk solids at the bottom turn a really nice caramely brown color. So this is just gonna sit here, and we'll check back on it. I might give it a stir every now and again just to make sure nothing is scorching, but we are well on our way to having some delicious ghee. So here you can see there's a little bit of foam forming on top, and I'm just gonna scoop that off and put it in the pig bucket because we don't want this in with the ghee. So we're just gonna scoop this off, and you can see it's kind of simmering a little bit there. Probably gonna turn it down just a titch so it's simmering just a little bit slower. So here you can see that the milk solids are starting to come together, and I'd say we're probably about 20 minutes into this process, so this is definitely not a hurried thing. I recommend if you're making lunch or supper or something to get this started a little bit beforehand, and then maybe by the time you're done it'll be ready, but it's definitely not something you want to start when you're trying to run out the door. We're just going to let this keep on lightly simmering, and then those milk fats are going to keep shrinking up, and they're going to start to get nice and brown. Okay, so here we are. You can see all the little brown bits on the bottom, and you can see what is going to be our ghee on top, that really clear golden color. butter. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just using a double-lined cheesecloth. You can use a fine mesh strainer if you want in addition to it, or just by itself. I just like cheesecloth. I find it really catches everything well. And I'm just putting it here into a pint jar, and I doubt we'll even have a half a pint here, but we'll see. And then I just have a little funnel here as well. So now I'm just going to pour this in, and then we will have our ghee. All right. Looks like we got a little bit over half a pint, and that was about 1 cup of butter. So isn't that just beautiful? So now I'm gonna let this cool with the lid off because we don't want any condensation to form. That's part of why ghee is so shelf stable, is because it doesn't have any water or moisture in there. So we're just gonna let this cool, and then I'll show you how it looks after that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was informative and easy to follow. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. Otherwise, you can always find more videos here about cooking from scratch and using natural ingredients that we have fresh here on the farm. Here at my channel, Rough and Tumble Farmhouse, we have new videos every single week. Please like, subscribe, share. It all helps my videos and my blog get found by more people. So we'll see you next time for more videos about farming, family, food, and fortitude here at our Rough and Tumble Farmhouse.